It's your 716 Uncle P from the world famous podcast, Men of a Certain Age. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Peace and welcome into the latest episode of Men of a Certain Age, The Soup. As always, I'm Les. I got my man DL and my man Panero with me, and the gang is all back together this week, y'all. See my mans and them on this beautiful Sunday afternoon as we build and destroy on this episode, man. Panero, man, you was missing in action last week, man. How was your little vacation?
Yeah, I was out in the Adirondacks. I went to a wedding. It was a nice scenery, and that's all I'm gonna say about that. The scenery was nice.
No doubt, man. We missed you, man. We're glad you made it back safely, you and your whiz, man. And shout out to the bride and the groom for them jumping the broom. How you feeling, man? How was your week, yo?
Man, my week was great, man. Busy week all over the place. I'm in Henry County last week, Clayton County, Gwinnett County, just staying busy, man. Getting to it, man. Back at the crib, everything's been good. P-Valley's coming back again at the end of this month for another shooting, so hopefully we can get together again at the bank. And yeah, I'm good. No worries, man. Happy to see y'all boys as always.
That's peace. That's peace, man. Listen, y'all, this is first Sunday, the first Sunday of June, man. It's already June, man. These months is blowing by, man. And it's gonna be, y'all can call me Lestradamus. I'm calling for a long, hot summer, man. It's already heating up, and it heated up specifically for one Mr. Agent Earns himself, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Lord, when the news came down about Mr. Trump getting convicted on all counts, was it 36 chambers he got hit with, or was it 34?
34, right?
34. He missed the chamber. Shout out to the Woo. I see you got the Klan on with you here today, Lord. You know what I mean? He missed the chamber by 2 counts. You know what I mean? But man, Lord, when you got the news or your phone buzzed and you looked across them and it was like guilty, all counts, what came across your mind one time?
I was surprised, but then again, I wasn't, because he is guilty on all 34 counts. You know what I'm saying? But in my mind, I'm thinking, this man ain't gonna get locked down. But the first thing when I text you, I'm like, yo, man, going to the camp, man. he going to FCI McKean. You know what I mean? He gonna be out there, you know what I'm saying, getting counted. You know, right. Count time.
Count time.
But the first thing I thought of was, this man is wild. First off, in 2016, he was like, lock her up. You know what I mean? Then 2020, he like locked the Bidens up. Come time for him, he like, yo, this is, you know what I'm saying, it's rigged.
It's two-tiered
when it come to him, you know what I'm saying?
Two-tiered justice, right?
Yeah,
That's what he this is what he gives us. It's a two-tiered justice. You know what I mean? Obviously, he couldn't go to the camp because it's a state jank. So he gonna go to he'll be singing and sing or smiling on the island. You know what I mean? UH, man, when you got the news across your horn that old Donald J was looking at some serious charges, what was your thoughts, man?
It was wild, man, because I actually came home and it was maybe like 6 o'clock. I told you I'm in traffic from 5 to 6. So I got home and turned on the YouTube.
First of all, let me just stop you. Atlanta traffic is some bullshit with a capital B and a capital S and a capital T on the end of it with several exclamation points. Continue on.
No doubt, man. Yeah, I just put my headphones on and get through it. I literally just put my earbuds on and just zone out. You know what I'm saying? As long as I get some good music, traffic isn't a problem anymore. But yeah, man, I got home and I turned on YouTube and we were sitting here watching it, and I'm like, they're like guilty on count 1. They counted all of
the joints.
They counted all the joints, and I'm like, wow, they really got this dude. You know what I mean? It's different to me because I know that if I went to a job, any job, and told them I got convicted of 34 felonies, I'm not getting that job. They probably throw me out the building. You know what I'm saying? You know, obviously the framers of the Constitution didn't have any type of scenario like this in mind, because that's why he still can run for president, because they figured that people will have the common sense not to elect a person who's felonious. You know, yeah, that's evident. You know what I mean? As far as people saying he still can run for president, why can't he, and so on and so forth. It shows you how much the people in this country have denigrated their thoughts in order
Right.
to appease Donald Trump. You know what I mean? They're basically willing to throw all the political decorum out of the window just for this man. I have people on my post saying, black and white, saying, "Oh, it's still not going to make a difference. He's still going to be your next president."
Right.
What are you talking about? Like I said, it just shows me the ignorance and the level of praise and, I guess, demagoguery that they have for this guy to this extent. Because, like I said, if I walked in a place with 3 felonies, I'm getting kicked in the door. This dude got 34.
My brother and we were talking, and he was like, "What was your reaction?" And my first reaction, it wasn't one way or another. It wasn't shock or disappointment. You know what I mean? It was, wow, that's interesting, is what my first reaction was, because I was prepared for it either way. I was more prepared for him to skate on some of them, more so than they banging them for all 34 of those joints. And they were talking about being a hung jury. Then they showed the jurists, and they were like showing where they were getting their news and different things from. And one of the jurors was getting their news from Truth Social, which is Trump Uncut, Raw. And I was like, damn, that ain't really a good sign that this is where he getting his. The DA, shout out to Alvin Bragg, the first DA, black DA in the borough or in Manhattan. That was a shocker to me. It's, damn, they ain't never had a black district attorney out there. And shout to him for being the first, and then also, you know, holding and bringing this guy to account. So what I want to do is this, man. Let's get a little breakdown of the charges real quick, and then we're going to come back and build some more.
He and his supporters are lying about what that means. They're pretending his crimes aren't serious.
No crime. Everyone said there was no crime.
Rubbish. Witnesses testified that during the 2016 campaign, Trump arranged illegal payments to deceive voters about information that could have changed the outcome of the election. The crimes were successful. Voters did not find out until after the election that Trump allegedly had affairs with a porn star and a former Playboy model while his wife was caring for their newborn son. Trump won by only 80,000 votes across several swing states, votes that very likely would have been influenced by this sort of information. These illegal payments were serious enough to put Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, in prison, and it was Trump's own Justice Department that put him there. As president, Trump continued a criminal cover-up from within the White House. He reimbursed Cohen's payments to Stormy Daniels in a series of checks and then made criminally false business filings to conceal their purpose. Every single charge Trump was found guilty of is a serious enough offense to carry a penalty of up to 4 years in prison. Now, Trump claimed that his trial was rigged.
This trial is rigged.
But the verdict comes from a jury of ordinary citizens who unanimously decided that the evidence proves his guilt beyond any reasonable doubt. The fact that Trump has been separately indicted for even more serious crimes doesn't diminish the seriousness of these felonies. Never before has a convicted felon been a major party's candidate for president. A criminal record like Trump's would be a serious obstacle to getting any job in the White House, let alone the highest office in the land. Trump willfully and repeatedly broke the law and has shown no remorse. If the Republican Party continues to support a criminal convict as their nominee, they have no business calling themselves the party of law and order ever again.
So yeah, man. So there's that. Now let me chase that with this clip real quick.
If Donald Trump can be a felon and be president, then we absolutely, without a doubt, in this country need to make sure felon is removed off of all job applications. Felon is removed off of rental applications. Felon is removed off of professional certifications, things like dentists, massage therapists,
Insurance,
realtors, mortgage loan officers. Those are professional certifications. Anything like that, felon needs to be removed off of it, because the highest position in the land should be the most sacred and should be the example for everybody in this country. And if this is not a political post, this is an equal opportunity post, and this is a post that is about not holding down the everyday average American citizen.
So boom, check it out, fellas. We just got the rundown on what Trump tried to pull off up there in New York. Sent his attorney Cohen to jail for trying to be his man. It's funny, right? As they say, you find out who your friends are when you get in trouble, right? Mm-hmm. So this cat in the beginning, Cohen, Michael Cohen, I'm speaking of, when he first came on the scene and got introduced for us, he was Trump's attorney, right? He was screaming he would take a bullet for the man and all this stuff that he would do for him. Shit got real. Trump was like, man, who that is? New number. You know what I mean? So he started fronting on this cat and then has his own Justice Department see him put in jail, get out on house arrest, and then send him back to Otisville because he stroked out a book to try to make some money. You know what I mean? So they like, oh, you gonna write books now? Guess what? We revoking your probation, you going back to Otisville. You know what I'm saying? As I said, when the shit get real, you find out, as they say, who can take the weight. You know what I'm saying? And you look at this now, and you look at the Republican Party, talk about it's a two-tier justice system. This is a sham. As we go towards the election, and as I said, it's going to be a long, hot summer, man, we're hanging on by a thread right now, man. And this is obviously my opinion. We hanging on as a country by a thread right now because this dude is the GOP nominee, and they say he's supposed to start getting briefings on top secret shit. You know what I mean? And this man is a straight up and down con man. How can we turn over our secrets to this guy and we know the first thing he says is, I'm your retribution. So he's out here trying to get even at all costs. You know what I'm saying? What about this whole situation? Do you think that stakes is high right now?
I think stakes are the highest they've ever been. Yeah. I know we've probably been saying that for the last two election cycles, but now there's a defining line. Now there's a defining line between reality and insanity, between democracy and totalitarianism. Now there's a defining line. You have to, if you're with Trump, then you stand, these are the things that you stand for, period. You know what I mean? If you're with something other than a maggot, if you're something other than a maggot, these are the things that you stand for. So the good thing about it is that it's given us an opportunity to actually see who's who. I feel that because of the fact that it's so divided amongst us and there's really no defining physical characteristics or geographical characteristics, because someone could be anybody. Right. I think that's what makes it a tad bit more dangerous, because you never know who's who. But then again, it should make us a lot more proactive in making sure that those people don't come to power and are prepared to deal with their disappointment, because we know that that's going to come in many different forms, whether it be economic, whether it be through law enforcement, or whether it be through acts of racial and or social and or class retribution. Right. We have to be prepared for those. I'm glad to see that people are actually pointing out that this guy is a criminal and that he's basically in head of a cartel for the most part. People who believe in him and are going to follow him to the end, and he's going to do what he's going to do. And the most important thing, and this has always been my first beef, with Trump, is the fact that he doesn't understand history. He has no respect for the relationships that we've drawn with our foreign partners. Right. By him cowering down to Putin and things like that, inevitably, even though we're black and men of a certain age, that would be more relative and more detrimental to us on a daily basis for Ukraine and Russia, for us to pull out a Ukraine and Russia affair than Gaza or Israel in any way, shape, or form, because it's literally going to put all of our lives and all the world into instability. So I just can't believe that, like I said, people are this stupid to even support this guy. It's amazing to me.
So, Lord, I was in the shop yesterday, and generally I don't engage in shop talk because it's a lot of I believe this way, and it don't matter what you say. This is where I'm going to be with it. And then it gets loud, and people get to
Right.
So generally, I just sit there and observe, and just shake my head or chuckle or whatever it is. So obviously, the whole Trump thing came up. And it was a couple young guns in there. When I say young guns, obviously we are men of a certain age. When I say young guns, this could be a 30-year-old, anything from 40 to 18 to a toddler. You know what I mean? When I say that the young bloods or the young guns. So the whole Trump topic came up, and people were pontificating on it and giving their takes and this and that. And the young guns was in there. It don't matter to me who win. And I'm like, y'all really ain't paying attention.
Right.
Y'all not paying attention if y'all sitting up here saying that it don't matter to you who wins the election or not. When you hear something like that, Lord, and in the climate of what's going on right now, what do you think?
My thing is I think sometimes we underestimate the power of the uninformed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being nice about saying that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to say it in this way. Never underestimate the stupidity in this country. There's a lot of people who don't do research, who don't care, who just believe whatever they see, and they just go with it. You know what I'm saying? You got this guy who's twice impeached. Now he's a felon. You know what I'm saying? Which comes with restrictions. Now, what about if you're trying to go overseas or go to Canada? You know what I'm saying? We have trouble going to Canada if you have a felony conviction. But this is the presumed president, or supposedly people are going to vote for this guy anyway. You know what I'm saying? 34 counts, and you don't care? Come on, man. It's an embarrassment. I think right now we are the embarrassment of the world. People are watching us as they usually do. And this is what we're doing. A lot of us are trying to nominate this guy as if he is one of us. This dude don't care nothing about y'all, man. Like this blacks for Trump. He can care less. He wants to get in office to make sure that he doesn't go to jail and to make sure that he benefits from the office. He's the only president whose family made over $600 million while being in office. He's for him. He is not for the country. He is for himself.
It's ridiculous. We had an episode 2 episodes ago, Money, Power, Respect. And this is what it all correlates to is the money and the power type of thing with Trump and the GOP, because damn the respect. They don't give a damn what type of respect you have. As long as they have the money and the power, they figure they're gonna have the respect. You think about this, UA. This man has a felony. He can't vote for himself, but yet and still he can run for president. And that's what I say. You look at this situation. We could have never dreamt that a president of the United States would have cases. This is like some shit that you would see on the WB at 9 o'clock or some shit, or that you go to the movies to see, you know. And here this is in real life, man. And like I said, I don't like to be a conspiracy theorist or nothing like that, man, but it just ain't adding up the way shit is going down right now, man. This man got 34 counts, all 34 he convicted of. Then he got 2 more cases that he's facing. And then they talking about turning over important information to this dude when we know he's out for himself. He don't give a damn. He don't give a damn about the United States.
And John said last week, when I was watching the show, you better look in the Project 2025. You better pull it up and see what he's trying to do. Man, this is serious business. It's going to affect all of us, man. People better get informed, man, because they're going to be surprised.
Yo, and not to mention the other 2 lawsuits where he got the civil lawsuit for the sexual assault. Right. Convicted of that. I think he owed her, $80 million. And then he went
again. She hit him again after.
Yeah, he said some crazy
shit.
And then and the judge hit him again. And then we got to think about the other case with the real estate. That's $500 million right there. Like, this dude is just this dude is a bad man. This dude's a lawless Batman, bandito running around.
Thank you.
And they respecting him like he's Jesus Christ or something. It is wild. Yo, this is the why. I'm so glad I'm alive to see this. Honest to goodness.
Yeah, this is some
because
crazy.
this is truly this is reality show every day, and it's only gonna get better. I just hope it doesn't have a apocalyptic ending.
First thing I did is I turned to Fox News. I needed to know what they was doing.
Yeah.
I needed to know what they was doing over there, man. And they were going crazy. They were going crazy over there, man.
I'll say this: no crime, no jurisdiction, no due process. Conflicted judge, Soros prosecutor, Manhattan jury. You know, I'm going to tell you something, Sean. I've spent most of my legal career, not as a former federal prosecutor, although I served as a chief of staff to an attorney general. I've spent most of my legal career fighting these people, suing the federal government, the DOJ, the IRS, the Treasury Department, the EPA, suing campaigns, fighting over voting rights laws, and so forth. And one thing I don't think our audience understands, and you need to understand, we have too many lawyers who are risk averse, too many lawyers who will whine and complain.
It's a sham, a kangaroo court, a banana republic, all that.
And the thing is, before the conviction, they were saying that the Dow was going to drop if he was convicted.
Right.
Man, the Dow went up 600 points the next day.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
More money. But it was like, here it is. The ruling has been given out, right? He's guilty, not by the three of us, but a jury of his peers, whether he liked it or not. That's who they were. And they came to a unanimous guilty verdict. And then these dudes and these ladies on Fox News get up and start screaming that it's like you said, it's rigged. I was like,
kangaroo court.
Yeah, that's our judicial system. What do you mean it's rigged?
What do y'all want? Y'all just want people to just go out and just start going crazy. Why would it? Obviously, it's again money, power. You know what I mean? That's exactly the reason why they on the bullshit they on. But they don't even give a damn about the country. They can't care about the country for them to get up there and slant it the way that they did, man. And I bring up Fox News to bring up Charlamagne Tha God, y'all. Now, Charlamagne has been in the soup a lot. He basically stays in the soup. We making turtle.
He like a potato. He like a potato.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We making turtle soup over here. You know what I'm saying? But Charlamagne, as we've all, when he opens his mouth, all of our eyebrows go up, and we look at him, and our arms fold, and our head tilts, just to see what he's on. Because as we've said, he's a double agent. We've even said that he's an enemy of the state. Right. And he actually went into the Fox's den this week and had some things to say. So let's go ahead and pull up Charlamagne and see what he had to say real quick, y'all.
Get your man.
Let the record show, I totally agree with Robert De Niro. I am one of those people that suffer from Trump derangement syndrome. I think he is a threat to democracy.
Really?
I think that he led an attempted coup in this country. He said he wanted to suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. At the least, that's just not a patriotic thing to say.
I don't believe that.
He absolutely said that on Truth Social.
I will look that up.
He did.
He wanted to suspend the Constitution.
He said we should suspend the Constitution to overthrow the results of an election. He said it on Truth Social, then said he didn't say it. So I read Project 25. I'm one of those guys that I don't know if he will necessarily leave. I hope he does, as you said.
I don't. Like I
hope he does.
So I don't know who the big wrestling looking like dude is. Thanos looking dude with the baseball hat backwards and the Cuban. I don't know who that was. But P, how did you feel about Charlamagne on Fox News speaking some realness?
Yeah, he confuses me because he's on the fence a lot. When he gets off the fence on the side that I agree with, I still sit back and be like, why is he saying this? What has he got to, you know what I'm saying? There's something involved in the reason why he's saying this. Does he have a book coming out? Is he trying to create some controversy? Is there some money involved? Did somebody do his eyebrows wrong and he's upset and he going in there saying the total opposite of what he really thinking? I don't trust this dude, man. He a double agent, or like he may be an enemy of the state. I remember one time DMX was on The Breakfast Club. He was talking about how he don't like Drake's face. He don't like how he sound. He don't like how he walk. I feel the same way about Charlamagne. Charlamagne. Charlamagne is what my son Miles called him. Charlamagne. He was like, don't listen to that dude, Dad. He's weird. You know what I mean? And that's just how I feel about him, man. He's a weird dude, man. I don't understand that, man.
Shout out to Miles Nitty speaking true. man. Charlamagne on Fox News. I wasn't prepared for him to go up there and have a little stiffness in his back. I thought he was going to go with the flow, and you know, when the wind blew that way, he was going to sway with it. He shook them up a little bit up there.
Yeah, that's definitely surprising, and it's about time that he was very defined about it. That's all I can say. We'll see whether he is the protagonist or whether he's actually showing allegiance or whether he's actually going to remain neutral like he's been. So I'm at a loss for words because, like I said, I think he is a media personality, and I think he's going to do whatever it takes to keep people listening to him now. Because now we're like, what's he going to say next? Is he going to hop back over to where he was, or is he going to stay on his side? Now we're gaining interest in him. Now you got to letting him back on like he's all right. You know what I'm saying? Remember how we said Kanye was terrible? You know what I'm saying? Now Kanye is down there with this dude. So he's on this dude level. You know what I'm saying? So he's probably trying to
he's trying to pull us back in.
He's trying to pull us back in and be like, I guess
he on. Oh, that cat.
that cat over there. Yeah, that dude, man. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's where he at right now. He trying to move up to, I guess you know what I'm saying? That's what you know what I'm saying. That's what he's trying to move back to. But I don't trust this cat, man.
No.
Oh, that cat. So yeah, he does have a book, Lord. He did have the book over his shoulder over there. Yeah. I guess it really would have come down to if they would have asked him, who are you voting for? Would he had said Biden, or would he have went, well, with all the things I just listed, who I'm voting for? Would he have went with that one? You know what I'm saying?
That's what he pulled on The View that time. He didn't come right out and say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I found that interesting. Once again, interesting. A lot of shit right now is interesting, very interesting on what's going on. And we're talking about people who have platforms and people, you know, who have a lot of people that are listening to them and value their opinion. Another brother that's been in the soup before, and we're going to add him to the soup this week, is Mr. DL Hughley. And DL makes the soup this week because he did a Vice President Ms. Kamala Harris for following the propaganda and going with what they say instead of basically listening to what they say and then doing your own math on it. Let's see what Mr. Hughley had to say to the VP real quick.
I am here specifically because I remember when we had a conversation at the dinner we had, and it was not always, it got contentious, and I had to apologize to you because I had let a media narrative co-opt my perspective. And I think that tends to happen with women and people of color. I think that we oftentimes hear this call, the sirens call that is so it's so mesmerizing that sometimes you believe it. And I had to apologize to you because you were a prosecutor. I grew up in California. I love that state. And what I saw happen to it, I equated it with elected officials, and I lumped you in with it. But some of the things that I have subsequently come to learn about you not only make me proud of you, but make me be an advocate for you. I'm proud of the things you've done. I'm proud of what you're trying to do for this country, this administration is trying to do for this country. And I can say in front of them, I'm sorry that I ever let somebody tell me what I should have known from the beginning. And I'll use my voice, not as I'm not a paid, I don't even like politics all that much. It's ironic to me. But I think you have done what you said you would do. And there was a time that I didn't believe it. And I have to say that I'm sorry. And I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure you get the word out and make sure that people understand you have done everything you promised.
Oh, dear.
So yeah, man, I wanted to share that with y'all, man, because again, we are men of a certain age, and it takes a real man to stand up to say when they were wrong and accept the consequences for whatever it was that they did wrong. Now, in the case of DL, man, we already know he gonna get lashes from the culture for being, he was up there licking boots. He up there they paid him to do it. And we all know the side stuff that's gonna come at DL, because he went up there like a man and spoke his truth about he felt the way because he was led astray, and let what other people were saying negatively seep into his subconscious, and he took it for truth and felt a type of way about her. And then after his research and her showing and proving, he like, yo, that was some bullshit. I was on some bullshit for even just letting that shit saturate my energy. When you see that from DLP, what goes through?
The thing about our community, we'll believe the most egregious bullshit about ourselves and internalize it quickly. But a lot of the times we don't believe the most egregious truths about white folk. Like, you can see Trump going through all this shit and you be like, yo, I'm still blacks for Trump. You know what I'm saying? But when you say something about Kamala, oh yeah, she locked a bunch of us up, I ain't fucking with her, blase split. You know what I'm saying? It takes courage and character to apologize. And that's why I fuck with DL, man. And plus his name Daryl too. That's my guy right there. I love him as a comedian. I like the fact that he uses his platform to give us some information. And if it's wrong, like you see, he apologized for it. So it takes a lot of character, man. I respect that. I respect that a lot.
I know you got a lot of love for him because y'all share the same initials. DL, man. DL on DL.
I love him. I told you before when we mentioned him before that I dug him as a community. As a comedian, he's definitely my top 5 right now, and has been for quite some time because of his balance, his ability to switch lanes successfully and do it correctly. And obviously, he got caught up in hysteria that a lot of us get caught up on, that we previously discussed on the Soup about the role of the vice president. What is a vice president supposed to do? Really nothing. You know what I mean? They don't have an agenda. Their agenda is to support the president that is in office at the time. So it's good to see that he had the humility and he understood that there needed to be the measures that she took while she was a prosecutor a district attorney in San Francisco County. She needed to do those things in order to shore up the situation that they were in. And a lot of times what we'll do is we'll complain about something, but when people like ourselves present remedies that we're not comfortable with, then we're sellouts, or then we're the man, or then we're working against the people. When, hey, you wanted crime down, you wanted schools not to be filled with drugs, and you wanted less firearms on the street. So these are the things, even though you may not agree with them, and historically a lot of them have been on us because of our race, and disproportionately in some cases because of the way our communities are. But they have situations like hers did cause crime to go down, did cause delinquency to go down, did cause juvenile crime to go down. It's just a matter of gaining understanding and learning for yourself, like DL said, and like you say every week, like we say every week, actually. Go do your own research. Don't just rely upon what I say or what D says or what Fro says. Go listen to what we have to say. Go do your own Googles and see where you end up at and how it affects you. So I'm glad to see that he had enough humility and enough class to admit when he was wrong and to support one of our sisters.
There's no question about that, man. And I salute DL, and I like DL because most of the time DL is on some real shit. You know what I mean? And when I say real shit, real for the people. He's looking out, and because he knows 65% are not really paying attention to what's going on. And even when DL does give the people, what is it called? The education from the GED class or whatever.
Notes from GED.
So when he gives that information, he's trying to inform us, man. And he's trying to inform us in a comedic way about serious situations. You know what I'm saying? And it shows us as Black men that it's all right to let your shoulders down a little bit and say, you know what, my bad. I was wrong. I was wrong on that.
Yep.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's easier to follow and join on with the negativity than it is to stay on the positive side. I don't know why that is. That is so much easier to be on the negative side of things and instead of the positive side of things. Man, again, I want to send a shout out to DL, man. And also, man, thanks for joining in for this episode of The Soup, man. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment down low, man. As we continue on, man, and as we stay in the news, we know right now in the culture who is the top page, front page, back page, and the middle page right now as far as the news. And I am speaking of no one but Mr. Sean Combs himself, man. Diddy is in the news. Rolling Stones got an article out about Puff, man. And in that article, they talked to Biggie's moms, and she had some things to say about old P. Diddy, man. Let's check this out real quick.
Notorious B.I.G.'s mom, Voletta Wallace, has some strong words for Sean Diddy Combs amid his legal troubles. The late rapper's mom reacts in a new Rolling Stone interview to the mounting allegations against her son's former collaborator, who recently apologized for physically assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie following the release of security footage from 2016. Voletta tells Rolling Stone, "I'm sick to my stomach," adding, "I'm praying for Cassie, I'm praying for his mother. I don't want to believe the things that I've heard, but I've seen the hotel video. I pray that he apologizes to her." She adds, "I hope that I see Sean one day, and the only thing I want to do is slap the daylights out of him," adding, "and you can quote me on that, because I liked him. I didn't want to believe all the awful things, but I'm so ashamed and embarrassed." It comes amid mounting legal troubles for the Bad Boy Records mogul. Most recently, the 54-year-old was sued by April Lamprose, a woman who alleges Diddy sexually assaulted her on 4 occasions, according to the claim obtained by NBC News. In a statement obtained by NBC News shortly after the filing, Lamprose said, "I'm confident that justice will prevail and the veil will be removed so no other woman will have to endure what I did." E! News has reached out to Diddy's reps for comment on the accusations and has not yet heard back. In March, federal agents raided 2 of the mogul's homes, executing search warrants ordered by the Southern District of New York at his homes in Los Angeles and Miami. A source familiar with the investigation told NBC News at the time the inspection of the properties may be connected to a federal investigation related to allegations of sex trafficking, sexual assault, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms after 3 lawsuits were filed against the 54-year-old back in November. Diddy denied the accusations at the time connected to those lawsuits, with a spokesperson for the rapper telling E! News the claims involving alleged misconduct against Mr. Combs from over 30 years ago and filed at the last minute are all completely denied and rejected by him. He recognizes this as a money grab. As for the federal raids, an attorney for Diddy told E! News that there was a gross overuse of military-level force as search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residences, clarifying that the star was never detained but spoke to and cooperated with authorities.
Yeah. P, who goes to jail first?
Ooh,
Trump or Puff?
Puff better get out of the country, B. From a standpoint of being a man of a certain age, and Puff going first, man, because it's just because of the, you know what I'm saying, the tone of his skin tone, he gonna go first. So I suggest he bounce. You know what I'm saying? And I feel the same way, Biggie's. I didn't want to believe any of this, B. You know what I'm saying? Because of what Puff brought to us as a culture. You know what I'm saying? As men of a certain age, we're for the culture. But when he said that he didn't do these things to Cassie, and then it comes out that he did, you know what I'm saying? And then you're apologizing for it. What are you apologizing for? Something that you said you didn't do, but the cameras say something different. So I understand why Mrs. Wallace want to smack him in the grill when she see him, because he need his ass whooped. You know what I mean? But I think he's going, man. He better pull a Russell or something, man. Stay out of the courts. Stay out of the country, B. You know what I mean?
Who's going to jail first, Puff or Trump?
I think 45 going to jail first. Just because,
whoa, Orange going first?
Yeah, I think 45 going first, just because of the fact that he's still got to go to trial down here. You know what I mean? Even though they haven't set a trial date, if they do it, which I think Fonnie is trying to do it before August, but if they can pull it off by then, because they're going to get him down here, it's a wrap down here. He's going first. But if he doesn't go to trial down here, I'm pretty sure that Trump's gonna let Puffy off if he wins.
Oh, that's a plot twist.
Yeah, because you know what? The reason I say that is this. Think about what Giuliani and Trump were doing. They were saying $1 million and you get a what? You get a pardon, right?
Oh, yeah.
They were selling pardons at the end of the sentence. There's 45 people got off. Harry O. Who else got off? Lil Wayne. What's his name? Kodak Black. Puffy and Trump have rubbed shoulders at some point or another, both being from New York or something.
Right.
So I'm looking for that to be something that's going to be probably tossed into the soup at a future date. The connection with those two, but just because of the timing factor, I think it'll be Trump more than I think it'll be 45 before it be Diddy.
Although let's be clear, there haven't been any charges levied against Puff yet.
Yeah,
it's not looking good for him, man. And him being from our era and our age, a man of a certain age, and then you think about who he is and the clout that he has. Again, money, power, respect. And this, why you what is going on with you, man, that you feel that you need to put your hands and your feet on this woman or women? You know what I'm saying? What is that, man? Where does that come from? Where did you see that? Before we wrap up this Puff and Agent Orange conversation, I'm gonna come to you first this time. Would a friend or a family member change your perspective or the way you feel about them if you found out they supported Trump?
Ooh.
Would it change the way I felt about them? No, it wouldn't. It really wouldn't. You know why? Because of the fact that I would just continually try to educate them about why they should not be supporting Trump. I do this all the time. My niece is a fair weather Trump supporter. No. She's a fair weather Trump supporter. It's me and her I have to constantly implore to her of why Trump isn't a good deal. You know what I mean? And she watches news with me, and she's become pretty politically savvy to a certain extent. And I've enjoyed teaching her civics and things like that and how things work. But it's just she's a younger person, so the younger people really don't understand the way things were and the way the way the United States operated. So it doesn't change my opinion. I look at it as an opportunity to educate. If it's a maggot, it's a whole different thing because I'm not going to even waste my time with it. I'm just going to continue to insult them, nonstop insulting them.
So I'm coming to you next, Panero. But on the other side of that question, your man's or your girlfriend, you found out she or he are abusers. Does that change your relationship with them or look at them differently?
Abusers, whooping. You know what it does, man, because I know somebody who, and literally the only person that I know who's into that. You know what I'm saying? Literally the only person I know, like
not to cut you, but let's be clear. It doesn't have to be just a man that's doing the abusing either now.
Yeah, I agree.
But go ahead.
It's just really the only person that I know who is into that type of thing. I don't even know. I can't call it a lifestyle abuse. You know what I mean? Somebody who's into that. I don't find it comfortable. So I make sure that I limit my interactions with that person. I still value them for what they're useful for. It's a situation like that. I put them in a certain outfit and I make sure that they are only going with me certain places. If you understand what I mean. I'm not going to go into depth on a lot of emotional things from that person because of the fact that I don't understand or respect that aspect of what they do. But I can value our interactions that we have. Believe me, it's tough, man. But it's something that it's just tough. It's just really tough.
Have you ever voiced your opinions?
You know what? It's one of those things where I have said things and obviously expressed my disapproval with the situation. But it's like one of those situations when you tell somebody about screaming at their kids or cursing at their kids. You don't tell me how to raise my kids type of shit. You know what I mean? You find that like, man, this is how I do it. This is just how me and her go, or so on and so forth. But I don't approve of it. I've never been an advocate of it. I never will be. I've never been a practicer of that. I've never done it. My thing is shit. I ain't trying nobody hold you hostage, and I'm damn sure ain't trying to kidnap nobody. You can leave. It's just different, man. When, like you say, you have all those different dynamics that are in place with somebody that you've known or that you built a relationship with, and then you find out that this is a part of the personality. It really is a challenge, man. It really is. Good question.
Excellent question. Lord, I'm coming to you next. So boom, we drinking beers, throwing back some beers, and you building with one of your mans, and your mans come out and say, yo, I fucking love Trump, man. I'm voting for him, and I don't give a fuck what they say, man. I think he just a two-tier justice. They railroading. Would you and that person, do you think y'all relationship would remain the same? Would it change a tad bit after they gave you their views on that, or would it still stay solid?
I'm a proponent of being able to agree to disagree and remain, you know what I'm saying, you my mans in them. But at the same time, like Don said, I'll use facts, you know what I'm saying, in the conversation to try to lead you in the direction that I'm going. Like, for example, Trump had the opportunity to implement the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill. He had the opportunity to do it. And that's something for us, right? Blacks for Trump, would he do that or not? No, he didn't. But Biden did. That's a fact. So I'll use that fact to my man. So, yo, your man, Agent Orange, had the opportunity to do Blase Split. He ain't do it. Is he really for you? Something to make you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Using facts would help out a lot. Using the fact that he really didn't do anything when it comes to helping Black people at all. He didn't implement anything. He was just always anti-everything, anti-people coming over, anti-Muslim, anti-this, to actually put himself in a position for a specific base of people that's not you. So why would you support that? I just don't get it.
Now, again,
but again, like I said, I wouldn't disown my man. That's your opinion. Let's go get another 6-pack because this one is almost done. You know what I mean?
Respect due, Paul.
Yeah.
Now, again, on the abuse side, whether it's your niece putting her hands on her man or your man putting his hands on his girl, that comes to your immediate attention. Is this something you're gonna broach your mans about, or you just gonna play the back to it?
No, I'm not with the putting your hands on women, or the opposite, abusing anyone physically of any kind. I just don't approve of. I don't approve of someone not taking care of their seed. I will not even involve myself with someone with that type of energy. I'm a man of a certain age. Sometimes I don't want to go outside. So it's okay for me to not even want to deal with somebody. I easily can just not deal with people and be cordial at the same time. How you doing, bro? And that's it. Because I know what you do and I know the history of what you do, and I just don't want to be involved in that. That's not my energy. You know what I'm saying? I like to uplift my Black sisters as much as I possibly can and not look down on them, especially not putting my hands and feet on them. So if you're doing that, either way, if you're doing that to a man or a man doing that to a woman, that's not me. I'm not with none of that. So I can easily minus myself from your life and still be like, how you doing?
Right.
Keep it moving. Yeah.
That's a great way to look at it. Again, myself, put myself in those situations. If I'm cool with somebody and they came out and started spewing, y'all know me. I'm cool with somebody and we mans, and then I find out either they putting their hands or their feet on a woman, or you a closet Trump supporter. Our relationship is going to be different once I find out certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't respect you putting your hands on your wisdom, or I can't respect you putting your hands on your husband. Either way, like you said, P, keep your hands to yourself and keep it at peace.
Right.
And as far as like that person who would be a Trump supporter, that I think that would strain our relationship because we would have nothing in common, I would think. Because for you to be thinking and supporting Trump, you think a whole different way than I do. It's a difference between being a friend and an associate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You would go from being a friend
to an associate,
to being an associate in certain instances. And if I found out that you was beating up your girlfriend, you wouldn't even be associate no more. I would have to fall back from you totally because again, I don't want to be associated with that.
Right.
You know what I mean? If this is how you moving, nah, I don't move like that. So again, that would be something else we don't have in common. You know what I mean? So that's gonna be what that is on those instances. And as far as who goes down first, Trump or Puff, I think it's a race. It's a race, man. And it's a race to the bottom. And I don't think we'll truly know until probably this time next year. You know what I'm saying? Because those Atlanta cases, that Atlanta case ain't gonna come until next year. It ain't gonna come in this calendar. At least I don't believe it. I don't believe it will.
Yeah, they rushing. That would definitely be a rush.
Again, Puff, man. That's some bullshit, man. That's no real man can respect you for doing that, for putting your hands and your feet on a woman, man. And as far as Trump, man, I hope you do end up behind bars because you deserve it. You've been gangstering since the time when you got that $1 million loan from your dad, what turned out to be like 100 million or 50 million in today's value. You know what I mean? And you've been robbing and pillaging ever since.
Word.
You got that $1 million. Sometimes your bill comes due. You know what I mean? And right now his bill is due. And they like, yo, you owe taxes, nigga. We need all of it. We want in. You know what I'm saying? So as we continue on this episode of The Soup, please like, share, comment, and subscribe down low. Speaking of cases, man, 3 brothers have a case against American Airlines, man, for some real foul shit. And when I say foul, I'm going to let them explain it. Here we go.
In a newly filed lawsuit, 3 black men are suing American Airlines. They allege company employees appeared to remove all of them from a flight over a complaint about body odor. First on CBS Mornings, the men are telling their story to our Chris Van Cleave.
We're the only ones getting taken off the plane. Look at this.
This video at the center of a newly filed lawsuit against American Airlines appears to show a number of black men after they've been removed from a flight allegedly due to a complaint about offensive body odor.
So this is discrimination.
The lawsuit claims as Flight 832 from Phoenix to New York was finishing boarding in January, American employees removed 8 black men from the plane. They were not traveling together, weren't seated next to each other, did not know each other, and appeared to be the only black men on the flight, according to the suit filed early this morning.
As I got my things and walked to the front of the plane and made a left to the jet bridge, I noticed that there was 7 other black men. And that kind of was like, okay, what's happening here? So
for plaintiffs Emmanuel Jean Joseph, Alvin Jackson, and Xavier Veal, Flight 832 was a connection. They'd taken an earlier flight from Los Angeles without issue.
It was just black men. So I started freaking out. I pulled out my phone to record everything.
At any point, did somebody from American say to any of you that you had an offensive odor?
No.
The lawsuit claims over the course of about an hour, the men were kept in the jetway and then moved to the gate area where they were told they'd be rebooked on another flight to New York later that day, and alleges an American employee indicated the complaint about offensive body odor had come from a white male flight attendant. A gate agent seen in the video at one point seems to agree race was a factor in the men getting pulled off the flight.
Just because of the color of my skin. Okay. Okay.
I do not disagree.
But when another flight to New York couldn't be found, they were put back on the same plane.
Had to go back on the plane with everybody looking at us. For me, very uncomfortable. Everybody staring at me, and all the other black people on the plane were just taking off.
I knew that as soon as I get on that plane, a sea of white faces were going to be looking at me. and blaming me for their late flight of an hour.
Their lawyer, Sue Huta, says American declined to give her clients any answers about what happened in Phoenix.
It's almost inconceivable to come up with an explanation for that other than the color of their skin, particularly since they didn't know each other, they weren't sitting near each other. It seems fairly apparent that race was part of this dynamic.
The lawsuit cites other recent incidents where passengers have alleged being discriminated against by American and a 2017 NAACP travel advisory urging members not to fly the airline. It was lifted about 8 months later.
We were discriminated against. The entire situation was racist.
Do you think if you were anything other than a black man, this would not have happened?
If I was a white person, it probably wouldn't have happened. I think they would have walked past the other white passengers that were there.
CBS legal analyst Ricky Kleeman.
The plaintiffs may really have no interest in money, and they may have a sincere interest in making a public statement about racial discrimination by a major airline.
Is this kind of case a tough one to win at trial?
The question at trial really is about what are the protocols of American Airlines. And they better have some, and they better have done something with these particular employees in terms of discipline after this action.
American Airlines tells CBS News it takes all claims of discrimination very seriously and says in a statement, our teams are currently investigating the matter as the claims do not reflect our core values or our purpose of caring for people.
I just flew American when I just came up to the house. I just flew American. You know what I mean? Talk about this bullshit, man.
Well, I only fly Delta, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Atlanta.
You in Atlanta, so yeah.
So we fly Delta up out of here. But I'm not surprised, man. And it's disrespectful and it's embarrassing that they can think of nothing but body odor and say it's the black people who stink. Come on, man. If anything, it was probably some of those unwashed legs that will make it a flight.
Non-washcloth using Euro.
One washcloth, non-leg washing, bathe only wash the hot spots. People that were up in there that were causing that stench, if there was any stench, man. But to be pulled and you look around, you can pull up a flight, like, wait, it's only black dudes here? Oh no. You know, obviously the next call should have been to a lawyer, and I hope they get paid. I hope it's just not about attention, because like D said a few pods ago, you gotta start hitting these people in their pockets. You know what I'm saying? Make them pay, because that's the way people understand in America. That's the way corporations understand in America. Get
Lord, they tap you on the shoulder and say, sir, we're gonna need you to deboard. And 2 other black people being deboarded off the plane. I know, what the hell is American Airlines on, man?
Y'all want a stereotype? I'm gonna turn into Ike Turner on them. What the problem is? Huh? What you talking to me for? Huh? I'm gonna have them eat some coal, eat some cake, and you know what I mean? You want to stereotype me? I'm gonna give you a stereotype. You know what I mean? But again, I'll be upset because I know what I smell like. Polo black, red or blue. That's what I smell. So go ahead with all that bull. You know what I mean?
Cocoa butter and shore.
Yeah, cocoa butter on my dome. That's what I like. You know what I mean? So it takes Europeans that used to live in the burns with the animals. We have to teach y'all how to move out. You gotta separate yourself. We gotta teach you how to clean yourself, man. How to, you know what I'm saying? Put some spice in your life. But you're gonna try to kick us off the plane? Really? Come on, man. If you don't get out of here with that bullshit, man.
They need to take care of American Airlines. I got 2 tickets for life on American Airlines after this, for wherever I want to go on the globe. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, listen, like you said, you talking about turning into Ike Turner, man. Listen.
Rest in peace, Ike.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all done pulled me off of this bird because somebody is smelling foul, and you think it's me that's smelling foul?
Man, listen.
No, I ain't getting back on the plane. I'm camped out right here while I get on the horn and call them people. Man.
Yeah.
I'm calling Ben Crump. I'm tweeting at Ben Crump. I'm Instagramming Ben Trump. I'm fucking, what is it, TikToking Ben Crump.
Man, you
Googling Ben Crump, you doing it all.
Man, Ben Crump, man. I'm in Phoenix at gate 19 American Airlines, and I ain't leaving till you get here. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a case, man, for sure. You know what I mean? American Airlines, man, do better, man. That's some bullshit.
Fuck out of here.
Thank you. Hit him with it.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
But with that being said, again, this is the first Sunday in June. Shout out to First Sunday, man. First Sunday in June, man. We got to talk about the NBA Finals, man. Before we wrap up this episode of The Soup, man, we some serious dudes because we are men of a certain age. But at the end of the day, man, we are super sports heads. You know what I mean? And we love the NBA or the association, as they call it, man. And we got the finals popping off this Thursday, straight from Boston, Massachusetts, TD Garden. You know what I mean? We got the Dallas Mavericks with Luka and Kyrie, Mr. Left Hand, Right Hand himself. And then we got the C's led by Mr. JB, straight from Atlanta, Georgia, from the 404. And then they got my man JT, Jason Tatum from St. Louis, Missouri. He out there with the Lunatics and all them boys, man. So we got a real nice finals popping off this week, man. P, Dallas Mavericks, Boston Celtics. How you feel? I know how you feel.
My brain is telling me Celtics in 6.
Whoa.
My brain. I'm a big fan of, you know what I'm saying? Little Big Mountain. That's his Native American name, right? I'm
Little
a
Big
Kyrie
Mountain.
guy. I'm a Kyrie dude. You know what I'm saying? I respect how Kyrie stood his ground when he was in Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? I hope he murders the Celtics. You know what I mean? But facts show that during the regular season, the Celtics had the Mavericks number. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the Luka Jaylen Brown matchup, Luka has a problem with Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown.
The
JBs, man. Come on, man. Jaylen Brown gives Luka issues. And I would like to see Kyrie go in there and step on the head of the Celtic in the middle of the yacht.
Lucky.
You know what I'm saying? With the Native American sneakers on. You know what I mean? And let them have it.
They're out there hooping in moccasins for real.
Hooping in moccasins with straps on them. You know what I'm saying? With the little tassels on the side. You know what I'm saying? Going with the left hand floaters. I would love to see Dallas win. And I never thought I'd say anything with Dallas and me saying that they're winning in my entire life. But go Mavericks in my heart. Celtics in 6 in my brain. So, you know what I'm saying? On my MGM, you know, Celtics in 6. Blah, blah, blah. But in the heart, we going to go Mavericks, baby.
So UH, let me come to you, man, because it's been a lot of Luka Doncic talk for a very good reason. And you are a connoisseur of the game. You have seen the game from Bird and Magic all the way to JT versus Kyrie. Ooh. You know what I'm saying? Is Luka Doncic better than Larry Bird?
I wouldn't say that he's better at this point, but he's definitely the second best white boy I've ever seen. Like, I thought about all the white boys out of the watch hoop.
Better than Dirk?
Better than Dirk.
Ooh.
Like I mean, because Dirk never gave it to you the way Luka gives it to boys. Like Dirk, you still got to get Dirk the ball. That's the thing about Dirk. Dirk ain't coming down and mixing you up, putting you in the blender. You know, Dirk wasn't doing that. Dirk might hit you with the fadeaway, a couple of good moves in the post, you know what I'm saying? A light 3. Luka is different, man.
Luka point guard. That's why he handles. He can handle the ball.
He is different. Yo, that game Thursday night, that dude, man, I was like, yo, and it's funny because me and Jada I think the next day we watched the Larry Bird thing. And the only thing that really separates Larry Bird, or what puts Larry Bird above Luka to me at this level, is championships. Because obviously Larry Legend got 3 of them joints, and Luka doesn't have any yet. I'm excited to see Dallas beat Boston because I'll never, ever root for anything Boston. I don't care if it's the Bruins. I don't care if it's the Patriots. I don't care if it's the Red Sox. And I damn sure would never root for the Celtics. Go Lakers. You know what I'm saying? I would never root for the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to I'm looking for a good series and for Kyrie to mix it up because obviously that's my favorite player in the league right now too.
Yes, sir.
I love Kyrie. I love the fact that he's showing his principles. I don't agree with everything you said, but the man still don't has. He's still 10 toes down for what he believes in. And if nothing else, you got to respect that. So, man, give it to me. Dallas is 6.
I love talking ball with y'all boys, man. And I just want I want to set a few things straight. Black community, the Celtics are despised by a majority of the Black community. And greatly because of number 33, Larry Bird. Especially in our era when we came through, we saw Bird doing work. And
he was working for his
my opinion, Luka, no, he ain't close to Bird, even though he does handle the rock. Bird gave Portland work all with his left hand. He didn't do nothing but use his left hand the whole game, yo. Now, come on now. That's
Kobe-esque.
You know what I mean? I'm just gonna bust your ass with my left hand.
Purposely.
You know? Yeah. Right. Now, I agree with y'all. Boston, I have no love for the city of Boston. But the Boston Celtics is different from Boston, the city. And we as Black folks have to know the first Black NBA coach, the first coach in professional sports was from whom? The Boston Celtics.
Casey Jones?
No,
Bill Russell, player
Russell
coach,
was the first Black coach.
First Black coach, Bill Russell. The first starting 5 of all Black team, the Boston Celtics. The first African-American drafted in the NBA was by the Boston Celtics. So it's cool. It's cool to not fuck with Boston. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you. But for us, as Black men and men of a certain age, we have to know the knowledge. And it's not, that ain't a reason for you to like the Celtics, but that's something for you to know, to knowledge to have, that these people are not Boston, Massachusetts, they're Celtics. So there's two separate ways to think about it. You know what I'm saying? Now, as far as this series, it's gonna be an awesome series. You know what I mean? You got Porzingis and Doncic. They don't fuck around because when Porzingis was with Dallas, they had their issues. So it's gonna be personal between them. Then you got Kyrie coming back to Boston.
I'm gonna love to see that.
I was telling P, he gonna have the whole garden smelling like sage, walking around with the sage.
He gonna have to sage the whole joint.
Right.
He sage that whole joint.
He's gonna tap into it. But what I'm saying is this, man. It's gonna be must-see TV. Yeah, and the reason why I give the C's the edge is because they got the better team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if Porzingis plays.
That's a matchup issue.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was telling my brother yesterday, it'll be a month since he played when the final start. It'll be a whole month and maybe a couple days since he played. So I'm like, yo, if he can't play after a month, he might as well have had the surgery or whatever he needed. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's the deciding, because Boston starting 5 is better than Dallas starting 5. You figure Tatum and Brown is going to cancel out Luka and Kyrie. It ain't going to be like it was with Minnesota. Fucking cat. I told you, man. Fucking Carl Anthony Towns, man. I told this man P, man, I was like, yo, name me a dude, show me a dude whose nickname is Cat and Big ain't in front of it. You know what I'm saying? His name is Cat, man. Not Big Cat. It's just Cat. And I understand
Not
those.
Black Cat.
Cat. I understand those is his initials and whatnot, and that's the reason why they call him Cat, man. But his game he's soft, man. His game is soft, and there's no way that I thought Minnesota was going to beat Dallas if Carl Anthony Towns was going to be the reason why they were going to win. But I'm saying here, man, I'm going to say it now. C's and 7.
7?
C's and 7. Because you think about this now, you got Holloway and you got White and you got Tatum,
those
and
are
you
X
got
factors
Brown.
right there.
You got those 4 dudes to switch off on them 2, on Kyrie and Luka. So they got 4 dudes, elite dudes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because True is a defensive boy. The way he ripped your man at the end of that Pacers game.
No, terrible. Straight ripped him. Give me the cookies.
I'm looking for him. I'm hoping for a long series, a long fruitful series, and I think they're gonna put on because Kyrie is gonna come with his game face because it's Boston. For whatever reason, man, since he's left, he hasn't played well in Boston. Whenever he goes back, he ain't gave him like 40. Not to say that he don't do it during this series, but since he left Boston and then went to Brooklyn and then went to Dallas, when he's come back to the Garden, he hasn't
played well, man.
Yeah, just gave him business, man. So I'm saying the C's and 7, man. Before we get out of here, UH, man, y'all got water out there in the ATL, man?
Yeah, man, we got water, man. Like I said, I live about a quarter of a mile. Literally, I live a quarter of a mile from the city of Atlanta in East Point, north to west. I live in northeast Point in southwest Atlanta, however you want to put that. But basically what it is, the city of Atlanta is out of water. They've been out of water basically, I think, for the last 2 days since Friday afternoon. They had a huge water main break in Midtown. So that means that a lot of people, they canceled the Megan Thee Stallion concert.
Yeah, I saw that 2 nights in a row. Right?
Friday night, yeah, two nights in a row they canceled it. The hotels and basically stopped taking people. They're losing money. Obviously, the restaurants losing money as well because of the fact that they can't wash their food and stuff like that. In the spirit of being a good person, I offered my shower facilities to people if I knew them, and no one responded. It's no problem that they can walk around stank if they want, but yeah,
they ain't flying American,
man. Exactly. They better not try to hop on an American flight. They ain't getting there. You know what I'm saying? But nah, man, it's crazy, man. That you know, I always ask people, what do you think? 2 questions. What do you think is more dangerous, fire or water? And what utility is the worst to be out of? And honestly, haven't always been as steady and stable as I am right now. I've been through some times, man.
We all have.
I've been without electricity. Okay, you got the candles, you got your phone, you just got, you know what I'm saying? I've been without the gas, go to my friend's house, take a shower, barbecues, alternatives that. But not having the water? Ooh, that's the worst because 15 minutes after I get up every morning, something happens and it has to happen. And without no water, it's not happening correctly. So, man, they need to get that together. I love Atlanta. I love the leadership, but that infrastructure, like the majority of American cities, needs to be taken care of. And that's why it's important that the infrastructure bill with Biden was passed so that things like this can be taken care of. Like I said, things from as little as the sidewalk in front of my house to the water system in Atlanta can be taken care of.
Say it again. Say it a little louder. She back there. Can she hear you?
Yeah, the infrastructure bill, because that's what it's for. It's not just for roads and stuff like that and bridges. It's actually for sewer systems, for things that keep America safe and it keeps America going in the way that it's supposed to go. Shouts out to Fulton County, the city of Atlanta, trying to get it together, and hopefully they'll have it together for the residents by the end of this weekend.
Man, ATL, y'all that who are struggling right now with water, man, hold your head, man. The water is on its way. And if y'all need to wash your ass, holler at my man.
I gotta know you.
P Double. What you got for us, man? They missed your words of wisdom last week. All I had was the don't drink and drive. You know what I'm saying? So,
that was a good one, though. That was a good one. Listen to all my nieces and nephews out there. No matter how good you are to people, the only thing they'll remember are your mistakes. It's okay to say no. You know what I mean? You don't have to be a people pleaser. You know what I mean? To be someone's friend. Take that with you, man. That's from Uncle P, men of a certain age. And before we go, I just wanted to mention this. I got to send a shout out and a rest in peace shout out to my man, DJ Shay. I'm listening to Pete Rock and CL Smooth the other day, and I'm thinking about, man, how did I get to this? Who put me on to this, man? Because it's just the music from Pete and CL. Sometimes one of them used to rap, the other used to DJ. You know what I'm saying? When they first came out, and I was listening, I'm like, man, my guy Shay put me on to Pete Rock and CL Smooth. And I listen to Pete Rock and CL Smooth on a regular basis. Shout out to Pete Rock, man. Rest in peace, DJ Shay, man. From men of a certain age.
No question about it, man. And Lord, thanks for your words of wisdom and your words of encouragement, man. As always, rest in peace to Shay, man. Always. And let me just say this, man. As a man of a certain age, I'm slipping. And the reason why I'm slipping, man, I cut my Apple Music, right? So I don't have my Apple Music subscription no more. So I'm like, damn, how do I get music now? Because you know, but the new stuff just ain't out on YouTube just yet. Right. You know what I mean? And what I'm getting to is Pete Rock and Common have an album out right now. Yeah, they was on Dreams Camps yesterday. I got to get under that. Not only that, one of my favorites, Starkey Loved One, man, got the tone, set the tone out, man. And I have yet to get under that. You know what I mean? So I am slipping. I am going to make sure that I get up under those two albums somehow, some way. If I have to reindulge my Apple Music again, because I don't know how to get music no more. They don't sell CDs, and I don't have a CD in the car. So it's damn. I got to get Apple Music so that I can listen to the music, man. Right. But yeah, man, shout out to Ghostface Killer on his new album, man. Shout out to Pete Rock and CL Smooth on their new venture, man, together, man. Also, man, thanks again for tuning in to The Soup, man. Men of a certain age, The Soup. As always, man, it's the same old soup. We just reheating it. Until next time.
Peace.
Bro, you got YouTube Premium.